Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a 2024 limited edition of 100 pieces in steel. You're looking at the Glashütte Original Vintage 70s Chronograph Panorama Date Swimming Pool Turquoise. So this original debut back in 2014 was a very conservative looking watch. The original model, featuring a combination of blue and silver dial variants, over time this model has become a platform for yearly limited editions, generally with extravagantly colored dials and short runs of 100 pieces each. And so that is the case right here for 2024, 100 pieces of what they describe as swimming pool turquoise. And there was also a vivid pastel red similar to the inside of a watermelon. So this is the swimming pool dial, as Glashütte Original has dubbed it. And I should mention that GO is the oldest continuously operating large-scale watch brand in Germany, dating back to 1845, founded by F.A. Lange, and yes, a project continued by Lange and his sons. And if that sounds a little bit familiar, it's because the original Lange und Söhne is this company. This is the lineal successor to the original Lange und Söhne. When communism collectivized German watchmaking back in the 1950s, this company, Lange und Söhne, and many others were collectivized into what was called the GUB, the Glashütte Uhrenbetriebe. Now that was the Glashütte watch factory. And after the fall of communism, this company re-emerged under one of its original brand names, Glashütte Original, and moved into the luxury space. So the Lange und Söhne of today is a revival brand. If you want the original company, this is the direct descendant. So the watch is not big. At 40 millimeters in steel, the swimming pool is 14.3 millimeters thick, and then from end length to end length, total distance across the wrist is 50.2. An important metric, though not one I can demonstrate visually, is that the watch has an enormous amount of mass. It's almost 2 pounds. It's 200.22 grams, and you really feel it. That's extraordinary for a watch that is not precious metal. Thrown it on the wrist, you can see how it wears. This idea of doing an integrated bracelet steel sports watch was, if anything, about half a decade ahead of its time when it debuted back in 2014 as a chronograph. So Glashütte Original, a little bit too far ahead of a trend that would come to dominate the industry. But if you want to look at one of the originals and something absolutely awesome for great value, this is it. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and this wears just fine. I'd actually wear this on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, assuming your wrist is very flat across the top like mine. The watch has a nice bracelet, and you can see that it's well integrated into the case, the lugs, it tapers down towards the clasp. An interesting combination of center links. We have bar-shaped rounded intermediates, and then these primary links are broad and polished. The flanking links are all satinated, and you can see how we have intermediate shoulder links with sort of a countersink design that results in very little lateral play. This is one of the most robust feeling bracelets I've encountered. You can also see underneath that all of these links are removable, so if you want to fine-tune the fit, you do have some options here. But you've also got a little push-button slider that gives you a certain amount of adjustable range defined by little detents on the underside. So you press the logo, and now you have the ability to move in and out. Now this is a Bracelet system, and that's the supplier of all you see here. And you can even see internally BRO for Bracelet. That's a Swiss supplier that makes bracelets and clasps for a lot of companies. Anytime you see this mechanism, in general, it's going to be a Bracelet bracelet and clasp. It's a thick gauge steel clasp with a thick gauge steel single swing arm. You do have to press both triggers, so it can't fly open inadvertently. Pressing one's not enough, you have to press both, so we have security and peace of mind there. We've got a screw down crown, we've got 100 meter water resistance. You can see we've got a little pusher adjuster for jumping the double disc flush disc panorama date or panorama datum, and flush discs are really a feather in the cap for this sort of complication. We've got a chronograph here, and I'll demonstrate some of our subsidiary functions. We do actually have a screw down crown to make this a hard 100 meter water resistance. We have stop seconds, so you can set it to a reference time. We have a little power reserve indicator that hides inside the running seconds, and you can see as I wind it manually, it isn't automatic, but as I wind it manually, that little scale goes from white to black. It's got a 70-hour power reserve and a 4 hertz beat rate. The chronograph features a center seconds hand, jumping minutes, and then a scrolling hour display up at the top. It is a flyback, so you reset and restart without first stopping. Very useful if you're timing events that occur in rapid succession. We have blackened indices, which are applique, as well as hands at center. And yes, they are on top of a matte turquoise swimming pool dial. We also have a worthwhile amount of luminescence. Now look carefully at the indices, but then also you can see that we have luminescent outboard dots of lume. So we actually have double lume the indices, and then there's more lume outboard of the indices. Taking a quick look, what else you can see? It's a twin register design, which is nice and clean and handsome. It's got nice bilateral symmetry. If you split it down the second, you can see from the center seconds position, if you split it right down, the vertical stopped chronograph seconds, it's mirrored on each side. Bilateral symmetry. We also have an azurage pattern for the sub-registers, and then you can see each of their scales is downward stepped. We'll turn it over now. This is a beautiful movement and a quirky one. This is caliber 3702. It's a manufacturer chronograph caliber. A couple things to note. It's got an unusual mechanism. Take a look at this. Right here, if I'm looking at the back, I can see when my chronograph is off or on when I'm looking at the back. I'm not sure why we need that, but I find it tremendously entertaining. What it appears to be is an extension of the lever bearing the oscillating pinion clutch. So oscillating pinion is a type of lateral clutch that has very little play when engaged. So when you start this up, it's very easy to mistake it for a vertical clutch, and a lot of journalists and information resources make that mistake, but it's an oscillating pinion. And the reason for using an oscillating pinion is that it has the advantage of a lateral clutch of being a very flat system to make for a thinner watch. The lateral clutch, of course, thinner than a vertical clutch that has to move up and down. Oscillating pinion is a super smooth lateral clutch engagement because there's no play, or there's very little play, between the driving pinion and the chronograph center wheel. The other thing, too, is that we've got a column wheel for crisp function selection. I believe that is visible. Yeah, there you go. Super crisp column wheel action. You can see the levers and the horns. You can see snailing on the edge of the bridges. We have both polished and blued screws. And if you're wondering what's the difference, well, take a close look. You can see that in general, the blued screws are used to fix things, in place things that don't move, whereas the polished screws are all associated with mechanisms that can be adjusted. So adjustable screws for the chronograph and the time, they're polished. Fixture screws that lock things into place, not to be moved, those are blued. We have stripes across the bridges. You can see we've got bevels, mechanical but handsome, on the edge of the bridges. Chronograph parts are satinated. They've got a nice brushed finish. It's a 65 joule movement adjusted in a high horology style, 5 positions. You'll also see 5-position adjustment on chronometers. And we have what is effectively a free sprung balance. Yes, it has a swan's neck, but the swan's neck is fixed in place by a screw, and almost all of the adjustments are done with variable inertia screws on the balance itself, and it's a 4 Hertz balance. So this is a very well engineered, thoughtfully decorated movement. And my favorite feature here, if you look carefully, you can see a hand solarized reduction wheel for the winding system, and then mirror finish on top of the ball bearing at center. Did I say this is a good-looking movement? This is an awesome watch. A timepiece that offers everything you could want in the integrated bracelet class, but with soul, integrity, and zero hype from a great age-old brand. If you love this watch, there's one more detail. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.